Hey there, guys. Welcome to the Basic Podcast.
We're
That's
back.
Matt.
That's Eli.
And we haven't recorded one in a while because we're lazy boys.
Busy boys.
Busy. Okay, I've been a lazy boy.
Lazy and busy.
Lazy and busy.
At the same time.
What have you been up to?
Just existential crises.
Really? Like, has it been that bad?
Yeah.
That it makes you a lazy boy?
No. Sorta. It can go both ways.
I've kind of also been having existential crises, but I don't know how existential they've been.
Yeah.
They've just been crises. And also some encouraging things.
The past 2 weeks since we've done a pod, what have I done?
Well, we did the vlog pod. Was that our last one?
Yeah, but that was 2 weeks ago.
So after the vlog pod, I went to a prom. I had to go back to Jackson, and that was yesterday, and figure out what was going on with my teeth because I had orthodontist things, and I was bleeding very bad.
Yeah.
And I listened to a crap ton of other podcasts.
Oh.
So I was like, oh, this is some good
Well,
stuff.
I've started going to the gym. That's something. Regularly. Now.
That is something.
So.
How's that been?
It's been okay. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Just there to beat
See,
someone's numbers.
you sound dead inside, but I feel dead inside.
I only sound dead inside because I'm really tired right now.
I'm so done with my life. I just want it to end. I mean, kind of literally,
Feel you, bro.
but not enough. Like I shouldn't say it, but
So
I'm not feeling it.
So that actually brings me to one of the first questions that Nick from Miami had messaged me about.
Oh wow, we actually got someone in Miami now.
It's what do you do when you feel like you want to kind of not be living?
Oh, I can say what I do, and it's just I have to do something with it. Like, funny enough, the podcast I've been listening to, some of the guys have had the exact same problem.
Yeah.
And they talked about how they have to either use their depression for the work they're doing, or they have to just. There was one guy who was going to therapy for it.
Yeah.
And he was saying that his therapist was telling him he can literally, or he should, let himself be sad and feel that way and not feel like it's a bad thing to feel that way.
So, like, yeah, when your life's feeling crappy, like it's just not worth living, what do you do?
What do I do?
Well, advice.
What should you do?
What should you do?
It kind of depends, kind of.
I mean, it varies.
It does vary, but it can go like one of two ways. You can either like work harder on the things you're passionate about and turn when I used to be really depressed, I would write about stuff and like I would pour that out into like my writing, or like I would draw a lot.
Yeah.
And I'd put it into what I was drawing, and I'd just let it go into it, and it's kind of weird, but it almost exits you into your art or what you're writing. It's either that, or you let yourself have a sick day, and you sleep.
Yeah, that's true. Those are good advice. See, for me, I would say, so for one, you gotta ask like, why did you get there? Why are you there in the first place?
I mean, those are always good questions to ask, but I mean, in the immediate future,
Yeah, immediate action
is what I was saying.
But I mean, in the sense of it's like, so what got you to this point of like feeling this kind of way in the first place? And it's about like, to me, it's getting back to the basics. Like the basic podcast.
That was like the basics. Yeah. Okay. Basic human condition. Yeah, that sounds like a good topic, Matt.
But no, it's so it tends to be like a pathway of expectation that leads to the downward spiral.
Yeah.
Like,
Like if you expect too much, you're let down. Yeah.
Like when you're growing up, becoming an adult. Remember how easy it was to be happy as a kid, and how the simplest thing could just make your whole day.
I mean, when you were a kid, you didn't have any expectation for your life to begin with, kind of.
I mean, you had dreams of it, so.
I mean, yeah.
But you didn't have a stark reality against those dreams.
Yeah, you didn't have a worst case scenario kind of
Yeah.
in your mind.
So like,
Except, I might get spanked by my dad if I do something wrong.
I mean, think about all the paths that led you to how you feel about yourself, and why you feel trudged down with all these things. Sometimes you just gotta liberate yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. I haven't talked to you in a while, Matt. It's been a while. How are you?
I'm good.
Is your existential crisis something you can talk about, or is it just?
Yeah, I mean, I can talk about it. It's just a common scenario for me.
All right.
All right. I wasn't done with my points here. And plus, there's all the other questions coming.
What?
The other questions we got.
What are you talking about right now?
I haven't finished the answering this question.
Yeah, I was just like, all right, I was like, go on, I wasn't saying, okay, let's move on. I was waiting for you.
So, I mean, really just take back to what really made you happy as a child and what still.
I see what you're saying. Okay, yeah, let's go back to this.
Yeah, that's what I was talking
Okay,
about.
got it.
Just shed those other things, man. You don't need them. I mean, you don't. There's so many things people are like, this person expects this. I'm expected to be like this. No.
No.
Just say no.
Man, I should practice what you're preaching before I'm just like, yeah.
It's up to you. At the core, it's up to you to make the choice for yourself. It's not anyone else's.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta say, so what?
So what if I eat 3 bags of chips tonight? Who cares?
So what?
So what if I win 10 rounds of Fortnite because I want to? So what? Don't let the haters get me down.
I'm coming from a hippie. It sounds like a hippie mindset.
Dude, just smoke some weed and sit in my van with me.
But like, don't take it, because I have a really ambitious side that doesn't coincide. Like.
Oh yeah, don't take it to the extreme.
I'm not
don't
saying
just cast everything aside.
Yeah.
There needs to be stuff you have to do. I mean, like obviously your boss expects you to do your job, and if you're like, oh, my boss expects me to do that.
But
time
if
to
you
cast
really
aside.
don't want to do something, figure out why you're doing it, and then stop it. That's all there is to it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you don't like your job. You really hate your job.
Oh, if you really hate your job, find a different job.
Find a different job, quit. You think your family expects too much of you? Subjugate that and just essentially tell them to screw off.
Move out.
They can figure out someone else to oppress. It doesn't have to be you.
Is the camera still sideways?
Yeah, to some extent. I told you that.
Was it like it when I...
Yeah, it hasn't moved.
Okay. I hope that doesn't really annoy people.
They'll be fine.
I mean, I could try to fix it, but I feel like I'm gonna drop it or something. It'll be fine. What's those expectations and fears we were talking about just now?
No expectations, no fears, just freedom.
I agree. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so I went to a prom.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did it go well this time?
Actually, yes, but it's funny because it ties into exactly what you were saying. It was because I didn't have these great expectations for it.
Yeah.
The last 2 proms I went to, the first one I was like really expectant on this girl showing up that I asked out because I was really into her, and I was like, hey, come to prom with me. And then she cancels on me like the week before, so it's like, okay, I don't have anyone to go with, and I was really upset about it.
So it went bad.
So it was bad because I was just like,
Yeah.
yeah, because I wasn't happy. And then the second time, it was okay, but the person I went with, just like I actually went with someone else that time,
Yeah.
and they ended up running off with their friends, and not knowing what a date means. But yeah, I just realized she probably might hear this. Shoot, I'm sorry. It's not what I meant. You're a wonderful person. I actually did have a good time.
Shots.
She was at prom this year, and I had a great time with her.
Oh, that's cool.
But like I think it was better that I wasn't expecting to go with somebody.
Yeah.
And I was just there to have fun.
Yeah.
And it was so much better like that. But I mean, I'm not saying it's her fault that I had a bad time. I was saying like it's my fault.
It's somewhat her fault.
No. It's my fault for expecting so much out
Yeah.
of it. Like we weren't going like as a date thing. It was like as as a date as friends kind of thing. But like,
Oh yeah.
she has a great relationship with her friends, and she wanted to spend time with them. So I just kind of wandered around, and I was like, "How you doing at all the peoples?" But this time was good. Nazar got to go, so
I didn't have a lot of this. Actually, I have a story on this, but I didn't have a lot of fun at my school dances. Like you might be like, "Oh yeah, Matt, he probably had a good time," but not really.
well, I think people have this thing against school dances. It's because of the dancing and how much people are having fun, and if they aren't having immediate fun, they get like really upset about it. And they're
Well,
like,
that's
stupid dances.
that's true. Are you talking about younger people having,
Oh, just
or older
people
people?
people in general about their school dances.
Oh. Well, I mean, there's the known thing with like senior prom. You know,
I mean, this was
virginities
probably-
disappear.
Oh no,
That's the stigma around senior
well,
prom.
that's not my idea of a senior prom.
But I'm just saying. So that's what some people will negatively view it because of that.
Mm.
For me, I had I think I went to 3 high school dances. And I mean, I had a decent time, but I actually wasn't in I wasn't in a relationship in any of those aside from the last one where I went without her.
You just went without her? Like you just didn't ask her to prom? But
Well,
you were in the relationship?
Yeah, I went to go see somebody else.
Oh, you went with somebody else.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah.
It sounds like you've got a lot of complicated and probably funny stories that you just don't talk about.
They're not that complicated, and I mean, they kind of getting tripped up, but no, it was kind of just me being an ass.
Okay. I mean, I can relate.
I mean, honestly,
Yeah.
I wouldn't pull anything like that now, but I definitely would have then.
You did anything interesting this week besides start going to the gym and trying to beat Phil's record?
Well, no, it's gonna take some time to beat it, obviously.
What kind of thing are you doing? Is it deadlifting?
Deadlift, squats, and bench.
So you're just trying to make it so you can lift over his
Wait, it's
His
personal record.
personal record?
And over hot. I mean, not over hot as. It would be over hot as by default, but yeah. Over all his on those. I figured why not? I mean, like that's. Like I'm so inspired by the just why not? Like that's my biggest inspiration in the world.
Just like, we can't send, a car into space. Why not?
Like it's not even like I mean it's posed as a question, but it's really like there's something about finding a really stupid reason to do something and then doing it
Just to spite
that appeals
people,
to me.
Just to spite people who think it's stupid.
I mean, it kind of spites people, but it's also kind of like, yeah, I didn't even have a real reason for it, but I just did it.
Yeah. I mean, I mostly do that just to spite people.
Yeah.
But Yeah. Just like make a restaurant. Why? Why not? Or release an album. Why? Why not? You know?
Or yeah, it's like somebody's just
Start a podcast. Why? Why not?
in a casual conversation. Oh, I'd never do that. And then you're like, well, I could.
Why not?
And they're like, no, I doubt it. And then you're like, oh, well, there it is.
We could change the podcast name to Why Not? And like just talk about encouraging things all the time.
I can talk about encouraging things, but I myself am not very encourageable.
Me either. Someone's like, man, I have this really cool story. I'm like, that's nice. And they tell me all about it. I'm like, wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Welp.
I try to show interest in people's stories.
Oh, I try. I'm not saying I don't try. It's
Yeah.
just, I never am actually that interested. So I just put on this fake smile like, oh, that's cool. Wow. Like, I've realized I'm so much of a jerk like that. Like, even people I care about
Yes.
will come to me with a
I've
story.
realized it.
I'm just like,
I mean, not like in my sense, but I've seen it firsthand.
like me? Yeah. Like, somebody I care about will be talking to me about something. I'll be like, uh-huh. Yeah. Wait, what did you say? Because I'm just not paying attention.
Would you like to get 20% off on these jeans today, sir?
Do I care about what you're saying? Yeah, I know exactly what you're
Maybe.
talking
No, I think I'm gonna pass.
about. Yeah. We went to A&E on the day we did the vlog pod. No, not A&E, American Eagle. And I was getting a pair of jeans, and the guy's like, if you get two, you can get, like, half off on one of them or something.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
And I was like, nah, I'm good. Like, I always kind of pretend to think about something just so that the person thinks I'm actually considering it.
Yeah.
Like, hey, can you lend me some money? You know what? I need this cash today. That actually happened.
You talking about with Tony in the break room?
I think he listens to the podcast.
That's okay. He'll be all right. So, actually, with that, I'm not gonna go into much detail, but like when he brought it up, like I actually was like, would have given it to him, but something had happened to me right before I walked in that break room, where I was so angry that as soon as he posed the question, I was just like,
like you didn't give him money specifically because you were angry, but not at him.
I was already pre-angry, so I was just in a like denial mode for sure.
I mean, I'm not saying it was Tony that was asking me for money. It's like Tony asks for change every now and then.
Yeah.
But it's pretty funny. Because like they're like, hey, can I have? I'm like,
When I'm angry, don't ask me for help.
dude, when you're angry, don't ask you anything. That's like the one thing. It's like, is Matt angry? No. All right, let's go get him and do some video games or something. Like, unless you're really, really busy or just
So
angry.
I actually
it's
have
like-
a good idea. I actually think this might come to something for me, as like it could actually turn into something.
What?
So
What is this?
okay,
I'm
so
listening.
so you know the Fortnite craze thing,
Yes.
and all these people who are like blowing up because of it. PewDiePie even did a video on some of them.
Like Ninja and
Yeah.
all these other guys, yeah.
So there's even one guy like Ali somebody, and I didn't know this, but as far as view count, he's one of the biggest, top 3 by far. He's not the best player. I mean, he's a really good player.
Are we talking Twitch and YouTube or just Twitch?
I know YouTube. 3 to 4 million videos. He was the one in the PewDiePie video that was like, he'd give a little
like
preview.
when he goes on,
and
yeah, I know
then
who that
he'd be
is.
like,
Yeah.
and find out what happened later in the video.
and then it's not in the video.
Yeah, that guy. But it turned out
the only person better at clickbait than David Dobrik.
it turned out he was playing. He plays on PlayStation 4. I didn't know that. I kind of assumed that all the YouTube, titans of gaming are playing on PC, but this is a guy who's not, right?
But he's still really good.
Yeah, he's really good. Everyone's, what is it? Got the disability of console if you're playing all console players. So
Yeah.
you could arguably be just as good as a PC player in the sense of playing against your peers. But anyway, so he's got this massive view count, and I'm like, and then I was Googling one night, or not Googling, but on YouTube, I was like, angry Fortnite moments, or like, rage Fortnite.
And that's all videos of you.
No. But like,
No, videos of me.
most games or popular games or other whatever, there's a lot more rage videos.
Mm-hmm.
There's no rage videos. Like,
What?
I searched through pages.
That's because no one. Oh, yeah. Well, it's probably because nobody wants wants their anger at Fortnite to be put on something.
I guess, like,
Because Fortnite's like, if you think of like, there's all the people saying, "Oh, Fortnite's childish" or whatever,
Yeah.
and I don't like say that, but like, I mean, I don't really like Fortnite that much, but it's just for.
so like,
personal
there's
preference.
Fortnite clips where you hear the audio, like where a player's raging over the mic,
Yeah.
or that kind of thing. But there's not like any like footage, like when the angry German kid destroyed his keyboard. That's a classic, a YouTube
Yes.
classic. There's no stuff like that. So there's no angry market in Fortnite. I'm like, I can be the angry market for Fortnite.
So you're gonna be the angry
My own
YouTuber?
reactions. So I had my doubts about it. It'd be like that, yeah, angry something Fortnite, some name, Like, I had my doubts about it at first, doing it, but I don't really anymore.
Like, you're gonna do this now?
Well, because I get genuinely mad. Like, there's, like,
Oh, I've heard you play. You're like, oh my
No,
god.
no,
at
like-
things.
I've ripped a full paper towel roll in half with brute force.
I've seen you slightly angry before, like after you've gotten frustrated and then you're angry. And if you were doing that, I don't want to be anywhere near. I'm sorry.
Like-
I love you, Matt.
Like, those
But
kinds
no.
of things. Like, I've juiced some fruit, like, in my bare hand.
Like grabbed a lemon. And
Yeah. This kind of thing. These have happened while I'm playing the game. No joke.
It's like those movies where they're like, you are this apple, and then they crush that.
So I got to thinking, people would probably watch these reactions. And then I got to thinking, but can I keep it? Like, is it consistent? Can I continue to do this and actually have these real reactions sustainably? And so that's something I've been pondering over, and I kind of got some proof last night, because I actually had my best night I've ever had on Fortnite. I played like 2 hours, and I won 5 games.
Wow.
So I only actually lost 1.
Like 5 in a row, or was it like?
It was like 3 and then 2, that kind of thing. But, so typically, like, if I get a good win, I'll be like set for a while. And if I die, I won't, it'll be no biggie. It'll be like, well, I had that good win.
Guess
No
I'm
biggie.
good.
But, so I had like 3 wins in a row. And I got killed next game. And I just lost it. Like, I was like raging mad just from dying once. And I'm like, I can really do this. I can really do this thing.
Are you gonna like stop for the camera though? Like, ugh. Oh man, I'm so mad every now and then.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to set it.
Like, I
So-
imagine you'd turn on the camera, you'd get mad. Oh my god.
Well, I'm going to set it
Like, stop.
to where you can get the whole room. That way you can get the full reaction.
And then like for the edit, it's gonna be zoomed in, like cropped on your face while you're playing.
Like, you need the whole room so you can see what's flying and stuff like that.
Do you play in your office?
Yeah. So I think there's a market there, and I'm gonna see if I can capitalize on
You
it.
might be able to.
I think I can. There's no angry Fortniter.
I've been playing Half-Life, like the first one,
Yeah.
and I've been actually having fun with it.
Yeah.
And like it's a great game to play, but the more I've played it, the more I've realized that the combat is like Fortnite.
Oh, really?
Yes.
It is actually.
Because like I mean, you can switch weapons really fast, and
Yeah.
like, you'll have a crap ton of weapons, but how you can fight things is much more different than like a first-person shooter where you sit behind something and shoot.
Yeah.
It's like in those close combat situations in Fortnite where you're
Yeah.
jumping around things
Yeah.
and getting shots on them as they land or whatever.
Yeah.
Like you have to constantly be moving in Half-Life. They're the certain alien things that'll charge up an attack and shoot like a straight line laser thing at you. So you've got to move
Yeah.
all the time. And I was realizing that as I was playing and recording, and I'm like, oh no. Didn't I say that I hated Fortnite?
But yeah, I'm actually excited about it. I think I can do this. I think it'll be cool. I think people will get it.
I think I can get angry a lot, and then people will love me.
Classic.
No, I'm not saying that it's not a bad
Yeah.
idea. I think it would be cool. I mean, that makes me sound like an idiot. But I think it'd be neat.
You know, shirts ripped in half, magazines.
Rip your Gucci hoodie. Man, all caps thumbnail. Man destroys Gucci products over Fortnite.
Like that's the kind of thumbnail that I'm not kidding here. If you had a decent following, it would pay for itself.
Yeah.
Like you'd rip the hoodie in half and you'd get enough ad revenue that you could just buy the hoodie again.
Also assuming if you didn't curse the whole time, because apparently that gets you demonetized.
Oh yeah. Well, for bigger channels,
Yeah, that's weird to me.
you kind of have to.
Like, cause PewDiePie has the problem where
Yeah.
they'll look at anything he does and
Yeah.
take any kind of offense they can, and then like other smaller YouTubers can just
Yeah. Well, I think it's a habitual. I think with great following comes great reporting.
with great following comes great reporting, Peter.
That's a classic quote for today's age. But yeah, like the more followers you have, the more people are gonna report you and hate. So, like I noticed with one of the accounts we follow on our meme page, our one of actually my favorite one. It's like Get Bonked.
Oh,
He always does the like 8 pages of story caption font. He did the Elon Musk one I showed you.
oh yes. It's these different panels where everything's like really weird and traumatized, where all the pictures have got like these blown up Photoshop things, and it's all like red, and you can just hear the image like.
But if you don't know, like you don't know, but his like 90% of everything he posts gets taken away like within the 5 minutes of posting it, even though his content isn't even offensive comparably to a lot of other people. He's been reported so much that his content is like on high surveillance.
Why?
I don't know. I feel like that happens to a lot of people who have big accounts.
I am gonna post those. I'm gonna send those Fallout memes to that Fallout account though. So here we are talking about the meme page. If you want to follow the meme page, it's old.sport.pink on Instagram.
They should really take percentages into the reporting equation, I think.
What kind of percentages?
Like if he's got 60 million subscribers and he's only got 1% like
Reporting him?
of that amount, like very minimalistic compared to the actual number of viewers, then how serious is it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But some people who are lower, like count, might have like half the people watching this thing report it, and YouTube's just like,
Eh.
we can let it fly. After all, he's only got 1,000 subs.
I don't know. It's weird. That's for sure. Oh. I was going to say something, but now I don't remember. But that's cool. That's fine. Oh. So I've been listening to the podcasts. A bunch of different podcasts, actually. But mainly this one called I'm Sorry, Dad. It's run by these social media influencers that used to be Viners.
Yeah.
And they're friends of like David Dobrik and all those people who are famous. And they were talking about depression in one of them. That's where I was saying like his therapist was telling him to just you have to feel your depression feelings sometimes. But they were talking about like depression stuff, and the other guy in a different episode, the latest episode, he's like this cynical guy. Like basically, you could walk up to him and ask him something, and he would reply with, "I don't believe in God. I don't believe in love. Love is a hoax. There's no such thing. I need a drink. Goodbye," kind of thing.
Yeah.
And he would say that to you probably. But the latest, like, it messed me up, like, really weird and bad because this latest podcast they did, he shared the most emotional story I've ever heard someone share on a podcast. And it was literally just about how he had somebody who was dating and they were leaving and he realized that he loved them. And it was like, the way he was explaining it was like, wow, I know what that feels like because I felt what true love is before. And it was incredible.
Brutal.
Like, it was really weird because he was crying.
Yeah.
And he does not cry. Like, he's the type of person that you could go 20 years with and never see him cry.
Yeah.
Ever. It was really weird, but also really cool. It was like, gave me hope for my own life somehow.
You don't know what you got until it's gone.
That's true. Or it's leaving and says goodbye to your face.
Never know your lover till you let her go. And you let her go.
Only know high when you're feeling low. Only hit the road when you're missing home. They have these weird podcasts sometimes where it's like 5 of them.
Yeah.
And they're like the last one where there was 5 of them, they were all drunk and debating gun control.
Don't shoot people.
It was like 2 hours long. And I sat and listened to the whole thing. Anyways, it's 33 minutes.
We should get this one in the 30 for once.
Really?
Yeah.
For once?
I'm sleepy.
You sleepy? Okay. You gotta drive all the way home.
Yeah, 2 hours.
Wow. Yeah, because 15 minutes feels like 2 hours when you're sleepy.
Yeah, just imagine how long 2 hours is going to feel.
You're full of shit. Like, so are we ending it now? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah.
Really? You don't have nothing? It's been 2 weeks. You don't have nothing?
No.
I'm stroking this pillow over here.
It hasn't been a good day.
It hasn't been a good day? What happened that made it a bad day?
A lot.
It's Noah's. Is it Noah's fault for being
No.
gone?
That job went
Or
really
maybe
well. I handled that fine.
Okay. Just those new shoes you ordered didn't come in yet or something.
And you're ready to end lives because of it.
I haven't seen a license plate thing that I ordered, a decorative license plate. I ordered that like a month ago.
Oh no.
It'd be nice if that came in soon.
Guess you've got some killing to do.
It's one of those third-party brands off Amazon that they're just like, If you want to contact them,
yeah.
you can't do it through us Amazon people.
I know those ones that it's gonna take months to
Yeah,
get.
they're
whatever
like
you ordered.
estimated exactly a month from when you ordered it. Why though? Well, it's been a day. I've had a long day. I was in Jackson all day yesterday, basically.
Yeah.
I did a crap ton of errands, and then, oh, you know what? I do have something to talk about. I know you're sleepy, but yesterday when I was coming home from Jackson, like between Pinson and Jackson, there's this car on fire. And
Oh, really?
yeah, dude. And the traffic was backed up a little ways as I'm driving past. No emergency vehicles were there yet, and this car is just on fire. And I was like, I recorded it a bit. I can show you the video later. I might put it on the screen for the podcast. I don't know. But this car is on fire, and then not even 15 minutes later, I'm driving down. I go through Henderson, under that bridge, and then there's a stoplight up there. Like, traffic was backed up to that point, right there. So I was like, what is going on today?
So there was another issue.
There was another issue. I thought I saw an ambulance or something, so I was like,
Yeah.
did somebody crash up here? And I waited in traffic there for like a good 25 minutes, and it finally gets moving, and they turn us around in the intersection. It turned out that the pole that held up the lights snapped in the wind.
Oh, dang.
So these lights are hanging like this high off the ground
Yeah.
on the road. And I had to turn around. I had to take 110, that road that you go
Jesus.
under. And my mom was like, oh, that takes you all the way to Bolivar, because I called her. And I was like, well, time to take some back roads, I guess.
Yeah.
I was pretty angry about it because I can't go home the way I wanted to. I just wanted to be home. It was like 5:30, almost 6 o'clock. And then I'm driving down the back roads, and something amazing happens. I'm like, wow, it's beautiful back here in the evening. Like a true country
A flaming
boy.
car.
No, me. In the country back roads.
What happens?
What happens?
That
Oh.
feeling? Just the feeling of
Yeah, just
driving.
like I rolled down the windows, and I was like, wow, this is actually really nice. I've never done this before. But, there was another car that apparently needed help, but somebody had stopped for them, but their child was waving pom-poms at me. So I was like, no thanks. And I kept going on the side roads. I got home.
That's good.
Safe and sound.
You gotta get home safe.
Bro, just so you know, when you're leaving, there's like a possum corpse down there right before the turn onto 64. So, like, don't hit it in
Okay.
your car.
I mean, I didn't see it on the way here.
Are you driving the Z4? Yeah, you'll probably hit it with your Z4. So, like, when you come up over the hill and then go down to that stretch that goes right up there, it's like down there near the bridge
I'll keep an eye
in the right lane.
for sure.
So, don't splatter that thing all over your Z4. We need a joke to talk about in the podcast all the time.
Oh.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. Anyways, if you guys have questions and things to send us at thebasicpodcast1@gmail.com. That's thebasicpodcast1@gmail.com. I would appreciate it. Or you could Instagram DM us at Eli_Chamley and Vander_Black if you want. Might give us some things to talk about so we're not constantly having to come up with content.
Next week we're gonna have a lot of content.
Man, I can't be expected to keep coming
We're
up
gonna
with
have
content
some
on
good
my own.
content.
We are gonna have good content?
I'm setting it up.
Really?
No.
Okay.
I mean, maybe we can have that, but
We ought to have that soon, though. Oof, 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 oof.
see you guys.
That's thank you for for sticking around this long. Thank you for watching the Basic Podcast. That's Matt.
Eli.
I'm Eli. Bye. Have a good day. Eat some chocolate. Drink some milk.
Cut it quick.
Quick. Bye.